Hello again, everyone. Edwin Warren back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about Venus sextile or trine, the North Node in a natal chart. Now, first off, some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on the aspects in a natal chart. They're a little bit concise. Some people may have referred to them as snappy. So what I decided to do was make another series on them in which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So anyway, first thing up is if you have Venus sextile or trine the North Node in your natal chart, it may be easy for you to love and enjoy, which is Venus, the future that you're going after, which is the North Node. If the North Node is in Capricorn, as an example, that future may simply be tied into career, business related matters, improving one's social stature in life. It could be connected with a Capricorn type field or profession, whether it could be dentistry, accounting. It could be doing something with architecture, construction, information technology, masonry, carpentry, as some examples. And the thing about this is it's about Venus sextile or trine the North Node in a natal chart may also manifest in being very auspicious in terms of making money associated with one's mission and purpose, which is the North Node. So if you have let's say the North Node is in Aquarius, as an example, that mission and purpose may be tied in. It could be humanitarian, altruistic endeavors. It may be doing something connected with astrology, astronomy, computers, electronics, aviation, meteorology, aviation, as some examples. And also too, if you have one of these aspects in your natal chart, you may readily value, which is Venus, what you are destined for, which is the North Node. And it's important because if you value something, it could make it more auspicious and more favorable, beneficial. It may be more, in terms of being successful for you. Now, let's say if the North Node is in Aries, as an example, what you're destined for, maybe something connected with leadership, prowess, and ability, maybe doing something with the military, speech pathology, it could be physiology, it could be some involvement with combat sports, and some examples for that could include karate, boxing, judo, wrestling, or one of the volatile sports, which is which could include football and hockey, as some examples. Now, also, the thing is the development of the positive attributes associated with the North Node placement may be beneficial to your self-worth if you have one of these aspects in your natal chart. And self-worth, of course, is connected with Venus. Now, let's say if you have the North Node in Taurus, the positive attributes that you may be trying to develop in connection with the North Node placement may include, just being stable, persistent, persevering, patient, trustworthy, reliable, calm, composed. It could be determination, being able to have could be financial acumen, attaining financial stability as well. And these things, if you have another way Venus sextile or trine the North Node may be expressed in the natal chart, is that you may easily be able to follow, that direction, where you're going, which is the North Node, and it could, be able to, either incorporate artistic endeavors, which is Venus, or be able to have the balance, with the two. Being, if there's an interest in art, but if it's not connected with where you're going, you may be able to balance that out easily with the direction you're going in, which is the North Node. Now, let's say Now, if the North Node is in the zodiac sign Cancer, as an example, that direction you may be going in may be tied in with home, family-related matters. It could be introversion. It might be some home-related business, or doing, something connected with a Cancerian field, whether it could be working in home renovation, remodeling. It could be doing something with real estate, cooking, culinary work, baking, something as a home caregiver, as some examples. And let's say if Venus is in Pisces, as an example, artistic endeavors could be ones that are connected with abstract, fictional, fantasy art. Venus in Sagittarius is another example. Artistic endeavors could be ones that are connected with sports. It may be tied in with publishing or advertising. It could be even horses, or things that are connected with foreign countries, as some examples. And also, too, the relationships, which can include important friendships, which is Venus, may be advantageous in what you're learning and aspiring to be, which is the North Node. Now, if the North Node, say, is in Leo, as an example, what you're learning and aspiring to be, may be connected with being very creative, charismatic, being able to shine, stand out in what you're doing. It could be more gregarious, extroverted, magnanimous, generous, things that are connected with Leo, maybe even a little bit flamboyant, or, desiring, the attention, doing things in which you can get, the attention and be lauded and praised for, as some examples. And it could also be, if you have Venus sextile or trine the North Node in a natal chart, another way it may pan out is that if you have any issues that are associated with the neck, the thyroid, kidneys, throat, or lower back, which is Venus, less likely to conflict, with the objectives that are connected with your North Node placement. Now, let's say if the North Node is in Scorpio, as an example, those objectives, the North Node may be tied in. It could be, just having certain power and control, or, being able to, handle crisis situations. It could be a Scorpio-related field, or it could be working as a coroner, a surgeon, locksmithing, doing something with psychology, forensics, investigation, embalming, as some examples. And also, too, the talents and abilities, which is Venus, may benefit whatever you're doing that's in connection with the North Node. Now, let's say if your Venus is in Virgo, as an example, those talents and abilities may be tied in with being able to diagnose, to analyze, compartmentalize, organize, doing things that are maybe with cleaning, sanitation. It could be doing things that are connected with health and fitness. Being able to be very discerning, being punctilious with details, which may help you, with the objectives. I mean, let's say if your Venus is in Virgo and it makes a sextile to your North Node in Scorpio, that could be very good for doing something with forensics or investigation, because the Venus in Virgo, talent or ability may be tied in, with seeing details. And you have the Scorpio energy with the North Node is investigation, and you need to be detail oriented in order to be proficient if you're doing something like, say, with investigation, if you're working in that kind of field, so, or even forensics. So but anyway, another thing too is that you may be able to, I was stating before about balancing the artistic endeavors, which is Venus, and what you're moving toward, and which is the North Node. And even if you're not incorporating that with the North Node placement, This could be very positive for the balance and also the relationships too that you have in what you're moving toward. Those are things that you could find the balance, I would say, easier with these aspects as opposed to many others. Now, another thing too is that these aspects can be propitious for peace, which is Venus, and aiding you in terms of what you're going to achieve in connection with the North Node placement. Now, if the North Node is in Libra, as an example, which you may be trying to achieve in connection with the North Node, maybe doing something, just simply having balance and harmony, or it may be a Libra profession, where there could be some position, a legal position, or doing something with art, or working as a diplomat, something with negotiation, arbitration. It could be, some kind of doing something, with as far as going back to art, which can cover a wide divergence of things, whether it be, drawing, painting, or sculpting, or even something with scales, I would say, because scales, is connected with Libra, such as scale production and design, as some examples. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Leonard saying, stay well.